Hello, and welcome to Stairway to English. Today's story is called Break the Cycle of Depression. It's a powerful journey about pain, hope, and healing, told in clear, simple English so you can listen, read, and grow. If you enjoy this story, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments. Let's begin. Episode 1. When the darkness feels endless. Sometimes life feels like a heavy weight sitting on your chest. You wake up in the morning, but you don't want to move. You look around, and nothing seems bright or exciting. You tell yourself, maybe tomorrow will be better. But tomorrow feels just the same. This is what depression can feel like. A deep fog that covers your thoughts, your emotions, and your energy. Depression doesn't always show itself clearly. Sometimes it hides behind a smile. People may look fine on the outside, but feel broken inside. Others may try to stay busy, work hard, or take care of everyone else just to avoid their own pain. It can be quiet and invisible, yet very real. The first step to breaking the cycle of depression is understanding that it is not your fault. You didn't choose to feel this way. It's not a sign of weakness. It's not laziness. It's not something to be ashamed of. It's a condition, something that affects your body, your mind, and your emotions together. When you're depressed, simple things become difficult. Getting out of bed feels like climbing a mountain. Talking to someone feels impossible. Your mind keeps telling you it's useless. But that voice, the one that says you'll never be okay again, is not the truth. Depression is a liar. It whispers that you're alone, but you're not. There are people who understand. There are others who've walked through the same darkness and found a way out. Healing is possible, but it doesn't happen in one moment. It begins with small steps, small acts of courage that start to break the cycle of depression. Maybe today that step is simply getting out of bed and opening the window. Maybe it's sending a message to a friend. Maybe it's taking a walk or drinking a glass of water. These small actions may seem meaningless, but they are not. They are signs of life, signs that somewhere deep inside, a part of you still wants to heal. When you start to take these small steps, your brain slowly begins to change. You begin to rebuild hope. Depression tells you that nothing matters, but every small step says, I still matter. That is how the cycle begins to break. There's another truth that's important to remember. You are not your thoughts. Depression fills your mind with negative ideas. I'm worthless. I'll never be happy. No one cares about me. But these thoughts are not facts. They are symptoms of the illness. When you start to see them for what they are, just thoughts, not truths, you begin to take your power back. It helps to talk about what you're feeling, even if it's hard. Speaking out loud, writing in a journal, or even talking to yourself in the mirror can release some of the pain inside. Depression grows in silence, but it begins to shrink when you give it a voice. The road to healing isn't straight. There will be days when you feel stronger, and days when the darkness returns. That doesn't mean you're failing, it means you're fighting. Every time you decide to keep going, even when it hurts, you're breaking the cycle a little more. One of the hardest parts of depression is that it tricks you into thinking you're alone, but you're not. There are millions of people who have felt exactly like you do right now, hopeless, tired, and afraid. And many of them are now living peaceful, meaningful lives. You can too. Remember, depression wants you to stop trying. So trying, even in the smallest way, is an act of rebellion. It's a way of saying, you don't control me anymore. In the next episode, we'll talk about how your daily habits, even the smallest ones, can either feed your depression or help you heal from it. You'll see how changing little things in your routine can begin to open the door to a brighter mind and a calmer heart. So today, if you can, just breathe deeply. Feel the air move through your body. You're alive. You're still here. And that means there's still hope. Episode 2. Small Habits, Big Healing. When you are living with depression, everything feels heavy. Even brushing your teeth or getting dressed can seem like too much work. You might look at your list of things to do and think, I can't. But healing doesn't happen all at once. It starts with very small actions. Habits that seem almost invisible, but they slowly begin to change the way your mind and body feel. Depression wants you to stop moving. It feeds on stillness and silence. But every little movement you make, no matter how small, is a quiet message to your brain that says, I am still here. You don't need to run a marathon or climb a mountain. You just need to take one small step and then another one. One simple habit that can help is getting sunlight. It sounds easy, but it's powerful. When you open your window or step outside, even for a few minutes, the light touches your skin and tells your brain to wake up. Sunlight helps your body make serotonin, a chemical that lifts your mood and helps you feel calm. Another healing habit is movement. You don't need to go to the gym or do hard exercises. You can start with stretching your arms, walking around your room, or taking a few steps outside. When your body moves, your blood flows, and your mind begins to clear. Your thoughts start to feel a little lighter. Healthy eating also plays a big role. When you are depressed, it's easy to skip meals or eat too much junk food. But your brain needs fuel to work properly. Try to eat something simple but real, like fruit, eggs, soup, or rice. Even drinking enough water can make you feel more awake and focused. These small choices send signals to your body that say, I care about myself. Another powerful habit is sleeping at regular times. Depression often makes your sleep patterns strange. You may sleep too much or not enough. Try to go to bed at the same time every night and wake up at the same time every morning. This regular rhythm helps your body feel safer and more balanced. Writing can also help. You don't have to write something beautiful or long. Just take a notebook and write how you feel. Write down your worries, your hopes, or even just one word. When you put your thoughts on paper, you give them a place to go. You take them out of your head, and they stop controlling you. Talking to someone, a friend, a family member, or a counselor, can also make a big difference. You don't need to have the perfect words. You can say, I feel tired, or I don't know what's wrong. That's enough. The simple act of being heard helps your heart start to heal. You may not see change right away. Healing takes time, but every small step builds strength. Think of it like planting a seed. At first, you don't see anything growing, but under the soil, something is happening. Your daily habits are those seeds. If you keep watering them with kindness and patience, one day you'll see new life start to appear. When you feel hopeless, remember this. You don't need to fix your whole life in one day. You just need to do one small thing that helps you feel a little better. Then tomorrow, do it again. These small moments of effort will slowly become your new strength. It's also important to avoid habits that make depression worse, like spending too much time on your phone, comparing yourself to others online, or staying up all night. Social media often shows only the good parts of other people's lives, but not their pain. It can make you feel like everyone else is happy except you, but that's not true. Everyone struggles in some way. Remember, your journey is your own. You don't need to rush. Healing is not a race. It's okay to move slowly. What matters is that you keep moving. Each small choice you make, to get out of bed, to open the curtains, to take a breath, is an act of courage. You are not weak for feeling tired. You are brave for continuing to try. In the next episode, we will talk about how your thoughts shape your reality and how learning to speak kindly to yourself can change the way your brain responds to pain and sadness. You'll learn how to turn the voice of self-criticism into one of self-compassion. So, for now, take a deep breath. Do one small thing today, no matter how simple. Smile at yourself in the mirror, step outside, or drink a glass of water. You are building new strength, one small habit at a time. Episode 3: Mindset Shift: Changing the Voice Inside Your Head. When you are struggling with depression, one of the hardest battles is not outside of you, it is inside your own mind. The voice in your head can become your biggest enemy. It tells you things like, you are not good enough, you will never get better, or nobody cares. These words may sound simple, but they have deep power. They can shape how you see yourself and how you move through the world. But here's something important. You are not your thoughts. Thoughts come and go like clouds in the sky. They appear, stay for a while, and then disappear. You don't have to believe every thought your mind tells you, especially when you are in pain. The goal is not to fight your thoughts, but to observe them, understand them, and slowly change their direction. Imagine your mind as a garden. Every thought you have is a seed. Negative thoughts like, I can't do this, or I'm worthless, are weeds. If you water them, they grow stronger and spread everywhere. But if you start planting positive seeds like, I can try again, I am learning, or I deserve peace, the garden begins to change. It doesn't happen overnight, but with care and patience, your inner garden can start to bloom again. A powerful way to change your inner voice is through self-compassion. When a friend is sad or struggling, you probably speak to them gently, like, it's okay, take your time, you're doing your best. But when you make a mistake or feel low, you might say things like, I'm so stupid, or why can't I do anything right? Self-compassion means learning to speak to yourself like you would to someone you love. It means being kind to yourself, even when things go wrong. You can practice this every day. The next time you catch yourself saying something cruel inside your head, stop for a moment, take a breath, and ask, would I say this to a friend? If the answer is no, then don't say it to yourself either. Instead, try something softer, like, I made a mistake, but that's okay, or I'm learning. Another useful habit is affirmations. Short, positive sentences you repeat to yourself. They might sound strange at first, but over time, they can change how your brain works. You can say things like, I am doing my best. I am stronger than I feel. I am enough. My pain does not define me. The more you repeat them, the more your mind begins to believe them. Science shows that the brain can rewire itself, a process called neuroplasticity. This means that when you practice positive thinking and self-kindness, your brain creates new connections that make it easier to feel hope, peace, and confidence. It's also important to limit negative influences. If you spend time around people who always complain or make you feel small, your inner voice starts to echo their words. Try to spend more time with people who make you feel supported, inspired, or calm. You don't have to be surrounded by perfect people, just those who remind you of your value. Changing your mindset also means accepting that pain is part of life, but suffering doesn't have to control you. You can't always control what happens around you, but you can control how you respond. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" try asking, "What can I learn from this?" This small change in question can transform a moment of sadness into a moment of growth. Sometimes depression makes your mind whisper lies, that you are broken, hopeless, or trapped. But the truth is, your mind is trying to protect you. It's scared. It thinks by preparing you for disappointment, it's keeping you safe. The goal isn't to destroy that voice, but to teach it kindness. Tell it, "Thank you for trying to protect me, but I'm safe now. I can move forward." It's also helpful to practice mindfulness, the art of being in the present moment. When you focus on your breath, on what you see, hear, and feel right now, the storm in your head begins to calm. You can try this simple exercise. Sit quietly, breathe in slowly, feel the air entering your lungs. Then, breathe out gently. Notice the sound of your breath, the warmth of the air, the weight of your body on the chair. For a few moments, nothing else matters. This is your safe space, the place where your thoughts lose their power and peace begins to grow. Remember, changing your mindset is not about pretending everything is fine. It's about learning to live with honesty and compassion. It's about choosing to see hope even in dark moments. So whenever you hear that harsh inner voice, answer it softly but firmly. Say, "I am doing my best," "I am healing," or simply, "I will keep going." Your thoughts create your world. When you change your thoughts, your world begins to change too. In the next episode, we'll explore how connecting with others and sharing your pain instead of hiding it can become one of the most powerful tools to break the cycle of depression. Because healing doesn't happen alone. It happens when hearts connect. Episode 4. Rebuilding Your Mind, Step by Step. When you are in depression, your mind often feels like a dark room. You may sit inside it, feeling there is no door, no light, and no reason to move. But the truth is, there is always a small window. You may not see it at first, but it is there. In this episode, we will talk about how to slowly rebuild your mind. Open that window and let the light return, step by step. The first step is recognition. You must recognize your pain without judgment. Many people blame themselves for being sad or unmotivated. But emotions are not your enemies. They are messages from your brain. When you feel hopeless, your mind is asking for care and rest, not punishment. So begin by saying to yourself, "It's okay to feel this way. I am still learning to heal." This small sentence is powerful because it replaces shame with understanding. The second step is routine. Depression often destroys daily structure. You may wake up late, skip meals, avoid showers, or forget simple tasks. To rebuild your mind, you must rebuild your day, not with big changes, but with small, kind steps. Wake up at the same time each day, make your bed, eat breakfast, even if it's small. Go for a short walk. These small routines are like tiny bricks. Together, they rebuild a foundation for stability and peace. The third step is connection. Depression loves isolation. It whispers that you are alone, that no one will understand. But the truth is, humans are built for connection. Talk to someone, a friend, a family member, or even a stranger online in a support group. You don't need to share everything. Just say, "I'm not doing well today." Sometimes that single sentence opens a door. Sharing your pain helps your brain see that you are not alone in your struggle. The fourth step is expression. Depression makes you silent inside. You might stop speaking about your feelings, stop writing, or stop doing things that once made you feel alive. Expression brings those emotions back into the light. Write in a journal, paint, sing, cry, or even scream into a pillow. Expressing what's inside helps your mind release pressure. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be honest. The fifth step is learning to forgive yourself. Depression often comes with guilt. Guilt for not working hard enough, not being happy, not being strong. But guilt is not the truth. It's just a story your mind repeats. You must answer it with compassion. Tell yourself, "I am doing my best with what I have." This sentence can become your shield. Each time guilt attacks, answer with kindness. Forgiveness is not about forgetting the past. It's about giving yourself permission to move forward. The sixth step is movement. Physical movement directly affects the brain. Even a 5-minute walk can start a chemical reaction that produces endorphins, natural mood lifters. Try stretching your body, dancing to music, or walking in nature. The goal is not to exercise for beauty or fitness. It is to remind your body that it is still alive and capable of joy. The seventh step is hope practice. Hope is like a muscle. It becomes stronger when you use it. Each night before you sleep, think of one thing, just one, that made you feel okay that day. It could be a warm drink, a message from a friend, or even the fact that you got out of bed. These moments may seem small, but together they create light in your mind. Over time, your brain learns to notice beauty again. The eighth step is mind awareness. Notice your thoughts without fighting them. When a negative thought says, "I will never get better," don't argue or believe it. Just observe it like a cloud passing in the sky. Say to yourself, "This is just a thought. It will pass." By observing your thoughts instead of drowning in them, you take back control. You become the sky, not the storm. Finally, the ninth step is gratitude. It may feel impossible to be grateful when you are hurting, but gratitude is not about pretending everything is good. It's about finding one small thing that still holds light. Maybe it's your pet, the sound of rain, or your favorite cup of tea. Gratitude teaches your brain to see life again, not as perfect, but as possible. Rebuilding your mind after depression is not a fast process. It takes time, patience, and courage. But every small act, every walk, Every kind thought, every honest word is a brick in your new foundation. You are not rebuilding the same mind you had before. You are building a wiser, stronger, and more compassionate version of yourself. In the next and final episode, we will explore how to stay free from the cycle of depression and continue living with hope, awareness, and strength even when challenges return. Episode 5: Living Beyond Depression. Staying free and finding meaning again. When the dark days begin to fade, a new question appears. How do I stay free? You may fear falling back into the same hole. You may think, what if it returns? This fear is normal. Healing from depression is not a straight line. There will be good days and bad days, moments of strength and moments of weakness. But now you are different. You have tools, awareness, and hope. You are not starting over, you are moving forward with wisdom. In this final episode, we will talk about how to live beyond depression, with peace, meaning, and strength. The first truth to remember is this: healing is not the same as never feeling pain again. Everyone experiences sadness, fear, or loneliness. The difference is that now you understand these emotions. You know how to sit with them, listen to them, and let them pass without letting them control your life. You have learned that emotions are waves. They rise and fall. And you, not the waves, decide how to swim. One important way to stay free is by continuing the small habits that helped you heal. Depression grows in emptiness, but habits create structure. Keep the routines that gave your mind safety. Waking up at a regular time, eating nourishing food, walking outside, writing your thoughts. These small acts keep your brain balanced. They are your anchors in the storm. Never underestimate the power of doing simple things with care. Another step is protecting your energy. Some people or situations may drain you, filling your mind with negativity. You don't need to please everyone or explain your emotions to those who do not listen. Protecting your peace is not selfish, it is survival. Learn to say no when needed. You are not rejecting others, you are respecting yourself. Choose people who lift you up, who make you feel safe and seen. Also, keep practicing awareness. Depression often begins quietly, with tiredness, self-criticism, or emotional numbness. When you start noticing those signs again, take action early. Rest, talk, or reconnect with things that make you feel alive. Awareness gives you power. You cannot control every thought, but you can control your response to it. Another powerful way to stay free is to find purpose. Purpose gives direction to your days. It doesn't have to be something big. You don't need to change the world. You can find purpose in kindness, in creating, in helping someone, or in learning something new. When your actions connect with your values, your heart feels alive again. Ask yourself often, what makes me feel meaningful today? Then, do that thing, no matter how small. Let's also talk about gratitude and acceptance. Gratitude is like a quiet medicine. Each day, look for something that makes you smile, even a small thing. Maybe it's the morning sun, a warm cup of tea, or a good song. These tiny joys are reminders that life still has beauty. And acceptance means making peace with what you cannot change. Life will never be perfect, but it can still be beautiful in its imperfections. You should also keep moving your body. Physical activity is not just for health, it's for mental clarity. Movement reminds your brain that you are alive, strong, and capable. Go for a walk, dance, or stretch. Feel your breath move through you. Depression often makes you forget you have a body. Movement helps you return to yourself. Then comes connection. Humans heal in connection. Stay close to the people who truly understand you. Talk, laugh, share meals, or simply sit together. Don't isolate yourself again when life gets hard. Ask for help early. Asking for help is not a weakness. It's a sign of self-awareness and courage. You can also find freedom through creating. Depression silences your creativity, but healing gives it back. Write, paint, build, sing, or garden. Anything that lets your heart speak. Creativity gives meaning to your experience. It turns pain into art, darkness into expression, and fear into something beautiful. And remember, healing doesn't erase your past. It transforms it. The person you were in your darkest moments still exists inside you, but now they have light. You are not broken. You are rebuilt. You are a survivor who understands both darkness and light, both silence and song. That understanding gives you depth and empathy, a gift you can use to help others. When you feel strong enough, share your story. Someone out there might be going through the same pain you once felt. Your words, your honesty, your survival, they can become someone else's hope. That is how the cycle of depression is truly broken, not only by healing yourself, but by helping others heal too. Finally, remember this truth. You are not your thoughts. You are not your sadness. You are the space where all feelings appear and disappear. You are the awareness behind the storm, and awareness is always free. So live gently, take care of your heart, and keep walking toward the light, even when the road is long. Every day you wake up, you are already winning. Every breath is proof that you have the power to begin again. The cycle can be broken, the darkness can fade, and you can live, love, and find meaning again.